Welcome to another episode of Stez Unfiltered. I am your host, Steven, and on today's episode, we are going to talk about the biggest news so far of 2026 is the U.S. attacking Venezuela and taking Maduro, extraditing him to the United States. I hope you guys enjoy this video. So the biggest news so far this year is the United States capturing Nicolas Maduro in a very precise military operation with minimal damage. I think there's about a few deaths from the opposing side. From what I read reports, there was probably like around, they estimate about 40 people dead, primarily Cubans. As you guys know, Cuban and Venezuela, they're like very tight. Ever since Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro took over the country, became communists of the country and destroyed Venezuela, and they became best buddies with Cuba, and Cuba been supporting Venezuela left and right. The biggest news besides Maduro being captured and being sent to New York City is that the liberal left went out to protest, crying for what the United States did. And funny enough, they're saying they have solidarity with the Venezuelan people, but while they're complaining what happened in Venezuela, the Venezuelan people, you guys search this up. I'm not lying. You could actually search videos on all social media, TikTok, X, Twitter, everywhere, and YouTube. The Venezuelan people are actually celebrating that they took away Maduro. Not just in Venezuela, but pretty much the majority of Latin America. I know a lot of people here, the liberal left, if you guys get to see this, please know your history. I know many of you are brainwashed, and especially if you actually were born after 2000. If you're actually born before that, you've pretty much been brainwashed too. I remember, I'm in my 40s. I was born in the 80s. I'm in my 40s, and I remember when I was a teenager when Nicolas Maduro took over. Not Nicolas Maduro, but Hugo Chavez took over Venezuela like back in 1998, 1999. And I remember when he took over, he started to take away like all private businesses, and he pretty much nationalized every business out there in Venezuela. That was pretty much the beginning of the downturn of Venezuela. 20 plus years later, mass migration, poverty, and all that stuff. If you don't believe me, just ask any Venezuelan out there. The majority of Venezuela, they hate Nicolas Maduro and the Chavez regime. I mean, unfortunately, when Chavez died of cancer, Maduro took over, and pretty much everybody hates that, pretty much. That many of them, they migrated out to the neighboring countries down in Latin America. I travel a lot to Colombia because my wife is from Colombia. There is a lot of Venezuelans in Colombia. There's a lot of Venezuelans in Brazil because I have a lot of friends in Brazil. I go out there as well. And my families are originally from the Dominican Republic, and there's a lot of Venezuelans in the Dominican Republic. And if you have any friends from the islands, in the West Indies islands, Trinidad, Tobago, and all that area, there was a lot of Venezuelan migrants in those countries. For the Americans or people from first world countries in Europe that are complaining, especially the liberals that are complaining because of what happened, you guys probably never lived in a third world country. You probably never visited Venezuela. You pretty much don't know what's going on down there. I would recommend you to go to Venezuela, to be honest, and see firsthand what the heck is going on. If you guys want communists in your countries, I know socialist communists are trying to expand here in the United States. For you people, I would like to know if I pay you a ticket, one-way ticket to North Korea or Cuba that has the same ideals as you, and not just that, probably if we could create a GoFundMe and provide to pay a residence visa or that country version of the green card for you to live in that country, North Korea or Cuba, will you guys do it? Will you guys do it? Will you guys actually will leave the United States and go live in one of those communist countries? I'm not gonna give you China. I'm not gonna give you Vietnam because even though China is a communist country, they practice the capitalist. There's a lot of buys and sell. Pretty much, there's rich and poor people out there in communist China, believe it or not, and they practice capitalism. Because I know most of the communists they hate capitalism. Let's not send them to China nor Vietnam. Let's send them better to North Korea or Cuba. I would like to see if within 1 year, or pretty much not even a year, maybe 6 months, you guys want to go back home. But apparently, I got a feeling the Cuban government and the North Korean government, even if you apply for like a resident visa to live over there because you love communists, you love the communist system, I got a feeling they're gonna deny your residence visa to go and live in their country because they probably see how crazy and dumb the American liberals are, to be honest. And talking about that, I know there's been some politicians. Mandami, I'm talking to you. If you see this, Mandami, I remember in one of your debates during the debate among all the Democratic candidates, I remember you mentioned that you only going to focus on New York City issue. Pretty much sounds like you're not going to care about international problems. But yesterday, when you were giving your discussion about what the United States did entering Venezuela, you actually lied. You already lied, and that's it. For those people who are watching, that's his first lie, and you pretty much people who got voted for Mandami got finesse. You guys are gonna suffer. As I live in New York City, I'm gonna suffer as well. You guys are gonna if you guys saw Mandami's discussion during his inauguration on the first, not the one that he spoke under the city hall subway station, the defunct one, but the public one that he did in the afternoon, he was talking nonsense. To me, it was all nonsense. New York is done. Let's put it this way. New York City is done. The way Venezuela went when Hugo Chavez started to dictate the country back in the late 90s, that's the same way New York City is going to end. And you guys, including myself, as I live in New York City, we all going to suffer. Unfortunately, we all going to suffer just like Venezuela. I guarantee you, a lot of tax-paying people that lives in New York City, a lot of them who can afford it, are going to move out of the city. But the Mandami regime is going to raise your property taxes. They're going to raise everything up. Just like the thing is happening in Chicago, Illinois with Mayor Brandon Johnson. If you guys follow what the heck is going on in Chicago, I believe at the end of last month, they rose property taxes to almost 100% on the minority color neighborhoods. And then recently, I believe recently, the Chicago Public Schools Board, they rose property taxes. Believe it or not, that's the same thing is going to happen to New York City. Like it or not, it's coming. You guys are going to complain and still blame Trump for something that Mandami is doing and his cronies administration. But anyways, I pretty much sidetrack. I know there's going to be a lot of English-speaking Venezuelans watching this video. They're going to be happy. Maybe out of 9 out of 10 is going to be happy. Probably 1 is going to be mad. That one, chances are that one person that's against what happened to Maduro, they're probably on the payroll. They probably work for the Maduro regime and all that stuff. But me being Hispanic, not Venezuelan, I'm Hispanic descent. My family are from the Dominican Republic. My wife is from Colombia. I travel a lot to Latin America, so I know firsthand, not firsthand that happens inside Venezuela, but firsthand that is happening in the region and the effect of what Nicolas Maduro regime did. Do not fall for... I'm so happy that they took out Maduro. I'm hoping for the best. I hope a lot of private businesses, private enterprise could actually start working in Venezuela. A lot of imports, things that If you guys don't travel to Latin America, a lot of Venezuelans, if they're able, they cross the border to buy goods, so they could bring back to their home country that they pretty much have lack of resources over there. And these are something that the liberal left don't know, they don't see because they don't live over there. They do not live over there, unfortunately. I would like you, the liberal left people that never left America, please go visit these communist countries. I know a lot of the liberal left people live in major cities, that there's a lot of immigrants that came from these struggling countries to the United States for a better world, a better something here in the United States. And I guarantee you, they're all look at you like bums, pretty much bums. And I'm gonna blame this because I'm not sure who I'm gonna blame this at. I'm just gonna blame this pretty much. I'm gonna say college, because I know in the college level they liberal arts professors, they pretty much brainwashing our young people, and they think all this is bad. And of course, there's probably things further down the rabbit holes. Probably the Soros Foundation. They're pretty much causing a lot of distraught. Anyways, that's my rant for this week. I don't want this video to reach 20 minutes. If you have any comments, anything, give it a like. If you don't like this video, you could give it a thumbs down. I don't care. Comment down below. I'll be happy if I have a lot of comments, a lot of thumbs up, thumbs down. That means it's getting traction. Even if I got more thumbs down than thumbs up, it's good for the algorithm. Anyways, if you guys don't like this video, comment down below. I'm still supporting the Venezuelan people. I'm happy that Maduro is out. I hope the communist / socialist regime is officially over down in Venezuela. I'm hoping for the best for that country. I hope a lot of Venezuelans that dream that they will see this day and they will go back to the country and restructure it again. Good for them. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and until next time, take care.